Thought Bubble Audio.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks. We're already drunk. All right.
I'm Tank, and I'm Frem.
Wow.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, the podcast where we reminisce about our geeky childhoods with our ungeeky beer. I'm Tim,
And I'm Frank.
and I was gonna make a Frankly joke, but
Don't.
I didn't.
You didn't. Don't.
I won't
Good.
at this moment.
What are we drinking, Tim?
We are drinking UFO's Gingerland.
That's right. Harpoon UFO Gingerland.
Gingerland.
It's a delicious gingerbread-inspired beer, and they pull it off.
Yep, they do. I actually really, I
Yeah.
really like ginger. I like ginger in most of its forms. I don't like ginger with the sushi, like the little pink stuff that comes
Sure.
with it. I do not like that.
Gingerbread is different. though. It's
Gingerbread is
gotta-
different.
yeah.
Also, the ginger that comes in my ale is also different.
Yes.
Yeah. And so all such things. But okay, so Frank, before we get into today's topic, we're going to play a little game.
Oh, I like games.
Okay.
Shall we
Name me
play a game?
Since we're drinking ginger land, please name me different types of land.
Candy, toy.
Okay, yes, true. I was thinking like real places. Yeah, like
Ing.
I think like mountain. Keep going. Like mountain, desert. Keep going. This game doesn't work. Don't participate.
Mountain, desert, swamp,
Keep going. Keep going.
tundra.
Keep going.
I don't know what you want.
No,
from
keep
me.
going. I can do it.
Cities.
No.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Damn it, keep going.
Mountain. Okay, mountain, desert, swamp, beaches, plains, farms. Like, what are you
You are naming everything. This is the worst intro
This is
ever.
the worst intro to any podcast ever.
You're naming everything but islands, Frank.
Oh,
Islands.
Yeah.
Islands.
I grew up on one of those.
No, yes, you did. I was
didn't.
almost like, no, you didn't, but you did.
I did.
Like, yeah. And you know who else
Not a
is
tropical
on an
one.
island, Frank? Misfit Toys.
Oh, you went a long
yeah, I
way.
went a really long way
You
to get
went-
there. It would have been a shorter way if you. It would have been a much shorter way if you just said island.
No, do not blame me.
No, I'm blaming
Do
you.
not blame
I'm
me.
blaming you. It would have been much
Oh,
shorter
God.
if you just said island.
I'm sorry there's so much shouting
How
today,
would it have
listeners.
been? How hard would that have been?
Pretty hard, Tim.
You know what? Fine. You introduced the show. I've introduced like 30 something episodes. it's your turn. I'm running low on introductions.
All right, fair enough. Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, the podcast to read and talk about.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks, isn't it? You couldn't even get to it one
With
time.
you staring at me.
Today, you stare at me. You know what? Today, I'm just going to do it.
I did that
again.
out
You
of
gave
love.
up. You know what? It is love. You know why? Because you know what I think about when I see your face? My favorite Christmas movies.
Oh,
There.
I don't know why you think
That was weird.
Are you saying my nose is red?
Actually, right now, it kind of is.
Kind of.
Yeah. Because we've been laughing.
Well, most of my
And
face is
your
red.
cheeks
'cause-
are red like Santa's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, your cheeks are white like the new fallen snow.
Thanks.
Yeah.
There's
Looking
snow
a little
outside?
pale.
There's
Yeah.
not.
No.
No, there's not.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Are you dreaming of a white Christmas? I am because there's no snow on the ground.
That was the last episode, though.
It was.
Yeah.
So this episode, we're going to talk. No, White Christmas is a movie, sir. We're talking about our favorite movies and TV shows that have to do with Christmas, and White Christmas is a movie.
First thing you think of, the first TV special or movie. Let's start with TV specials. First Christmas TV special that comes to mind. Go.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Nice. Me too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's just talk about this
Rankin
one.
Bass thing. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, when people talk about this one, they're like, "Oh, I love the claymation Rudolph." I'm like, "What version is that?" Because the one that everyone else in the world watches is puppets.
Yeah. Well, it is like stop motion animation.
It's stop motion animation, but they're puppets.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not claymation.
Sure. Okay.
I'm just
fine
being frank. No, actually, I'm being Tim, but I'm being frank.
Right.
I knew I could make a Frank joke somewhere in today's episode.
Yeah.
All right, so almost 6 minutes into this episode, let's talk about Christmas stuff. When did you first watch the Rudolph special?
Oh, who knows? I mean, I was so little. I remember it used to air on
the Who? We're not talking about the Who's right now. We're talking about Rudolph.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. Yeah, no, I don't. I must have been like a toddler when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, CBS used to show it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they're still the ones who show it, or if it's ABC now. Maybe I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I watch it on my own.
Yeah,
now.
okay.
I don't watch.
Okay.
Well,
see, that's funny. I actually enjoy waiting for them to air on TV and watching them when they air on TV.
Sometimes I miss them.
Okay.
And so, I only recently got DVR.
Yeah.
This, basically a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I missed it, I just missed it.
Right.
So maybe this time I will kind of align my schedule.
Okay. Yeah.
But I used to watch them taped off. We had tapes off of TV.
So did I.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I guess I could. I have a VCR, so technically I could still watch the original version.
The tapes, yeah.
I could still watch the tapes, which, excuse me, Tim is still sick. If you couldn't tell, if you still, I could still watch the original ones.
Yep.
Because those Christmas commercials mean just as much to me,
yes,
as the Rudolph special.
Yes,
just as much.
Oh yeah.
Same with the Grinch and Santa Claus is Coming to Town and all the other Christmas specials out there. Those commercials mean just as much to me.
Totally agree.
Folgers. The first time I ever heard the Folgers cough, it's Folgers in your cup.
Yeah.
That's good. That was on the Rudolph thing. First time, let me see, there was a Play School commercial.
Okay.
I know there was more, but my memory's fuzzy. But anyway, Rudolph. Why do you like it so much?
It just brings back memories of my childhood. I wouldn't say.
Why did you like it when you were a kid? Because you weren't bringing back memories of. You're like, oh, it was a great time when I was.
Oh man,
2.
remember that time 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, right. I'm so glad I'm 3 now.
Yeah,
but 2 was prime.
2 was a great year.
Yeah.
Ugh, the last year that I was the only child. No, I don't know. I guess when you're a kid, I enjoyed it because it was just like. It was like a cartoon, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like real life, but it's not.
But it's not. The songs, I guess, was really.
I love
the songs.
Yeah, I love the songs.
Yeah,
in that. We talked about that last episode.
Yeah,
we avoided talking about a lot of songs from the Christmas specials on purpose.
So did I. Yeah.
Just because I love those songs so very much.
Yeah, and you wanted to save it for this.
Out of those Christmas songs, which one's your favorite? From Rudolph, I mean.
Yeah. Island of Misfit Toys comes to mind.
Here on the Island of Misfit Toys, here we don't want to stay. I have the whole album to that.
Oh, wow.
I actually have the whole thing. It's fabulous.
Nice.
But I'm with you. I actually don't know which is my favorite because every time another one comes on, I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
This is my primo song. I love Jingle Jingle Jingle.
Oh yeah, wait, that's that and
Holly Jolly.
Holly Jolly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love, but Jingle 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 I love because it's just like
Jingle,
super
jingle.
skinny Santa. Like no one like
That's a
eat.
skinny Santa.
No one likes a skinny Santa.
Yeah,
I
that's
said that to
great.
my sister. I think on Thanksgiving, but I think someone was like, you want seconds? She was like, no, and I was like, eat. No one likes a skinny Santa, and she glared at me like, no, like hell hath no like scorn, and I was like, sorry.
Sorry.
All right, Thanksgiving dinner's almost over. It's Christmas time now. But I love Jingle Jingle Jingle. I also there's something about Santa's kind of mean in that film.
Yeah.
Like I didn't pick up on that as a kid because you're like, it's Santa, and you don't
No,
really
neither
listen
did
to what
I.
they say. But as an adult, like Santa's mean. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. So is Donner. Like they're both jerks. Like, Donner's sexist. My favorite thing,
yes.
like Mrs. Donner wanted to go, but Mr. Donner was like, "No, this is a man's job."
Yeah.
Like, let
It's the
Mrs.
60s. I
Donner
mean,
go. I know
whatever,
that, but that's part of
yeah.
the.
It's true. He's sexist. But he's just like, all the kids are picking on my kid, and that's okay. See?
Yeah.
They can't join in any reindeer games.
My
see?
kid's a freak, so I'm gonna make him more of a freak. See?
Put this on your nose. See?
Yeah, but I do love that song. Jingle, 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 you hear my sleigh. I love that. We are Santa's elves. I love that. What? Herbie doesn't like to make toys. The movie's great.
It is. It's good.
Remember the age? Remember in our, maybe it was the beginning of our friendship when we went through the stage of like all the different whats.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
All the different weird whats in movies. Yeah. What? Ooh, what? What? Yeah. Was there only 3? I feel like there was more. There's
felt
Herbie
like
doesn't
more,
like
but
to
it's
make toys.
Probably the 3.
I can't remember. But anyway, Island of Misfit Toys. We're a couple of misfits. I just want to be a dentist. There's Always Tomorrow. It's a beautiful song.
Oh yeah, that's sad though. I don't really like that as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some songs don't really make like Silver and Gold. I love Cornelius, but like Silver and Gold.
What?
Sorry.
The other Rankin Bass specials. Were you a fan of like Santa Claus is Coming to Town or any of those?
The only 2 that I grew up with was Rudolph and Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Okay.
I really did enjoy Santa Claus is Coming to Town when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was fascinated with the Burgermeister for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I still am. I like saying the word Burgermeister.
Well, Burgermeister, Meisterburger is fun
I
to
try
say.
to actually work it into conversations around Christmas as much as I can. Somebody was actually, long story short, there are 22 Catholic saints with burger somewhere in their name. It's a really long story how I got to this point and how I know this. 22 Catholic saints with burger in there somewhere. Okay. So, but my thought during this whole process was, we could also talk about the Meisterburger. I do love toys with the little yo-yos. Where did they get these toys? Oh, I love it with his penguin friend. And my favorite song from that movie is One Foot in Front of the Other, though.
Oh, yeah.
Not Santa Claus, not Fred Astaire and Santa Claus is Coming to Town or anything like that. It's put one foot in front of the other, and soon you are walking across the floor.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I use that in life more than I should.
Right, probably
every morning.
I believe you.
Just put one foot in front, and soon you'll be walking in the shower.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch that very much when I was a little kid. I was watching a lot of Rudolph, a lot of Frosty, which I'm sure we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch that one very much until a couple of years later. And by then I was a little bit too old to really absorb that like into my like favorites.
Okay.
So I've seen it a bunch of times, but I don't have the same nostalgia for it that I have for the others. Frosty though. Frosty I watched a lot.
I didn't watch a lot of Frosty.
Okay.
My grandmother had a tape of Frosty and we would watch it there, but I didn't watch it in my own house.
Okay.
But so you grew up with Frosty though, so talk about Frosty.
Yeah, I watched that quite a bit, and that was obviously that one's actually cartoon, like 2D cartoon animated.
Yeah, right.
And that one I enjoy. I don't think it's as good as say Rudolph, but I have
very little Christmas specials to me reach Rudolph.
Yeah,
status.
Rudolph is it's pretty high up.
It is the pinnacle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have one other I think is the pinnacle we'll get to. But
Okay.
But Frosty is not quite there, but I really do really enjoy it a lot. Again, nostalgia more than anything at this point in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Claus coming down is super nostalgic for me. It's like it's super hipsty.
Yeah.
Like that scene where what's her name? Marion, the girl. Where she's like she basically lets her hair down to become free. Super hippie moment with like the rainbows and the twirling water and it's a great song though. Anyway.
Fun song.
I do like Frosty.
Yeah. Frosty, yeah, I mean it's good. The story is a little funny, a little wonky, at times. Not quite. Not that any of it is believable because the whole thing is a cartoon.
You bite your tongue. Obviously, Frosty is real, just like Santa.
But the whole thing with the magician and his hat and everything is sometimes hard for me to really buy. I will say, I think Jimmy Durante is underappreciated in that special. I think that he's one of the fun parts of it, and that's I think for me just being an old soul and just enjoying that's Jimmy Durante being Jimmy Durante, Frosty, a snowman, but and all that. But I don't know. I enjoyed that about it. But I think. It's okay. It's good. It's fun. I enjoy it. I watch it every year. I have yet to watch it this year, but I will. And it's always a good time. I think I
like the song in that more than anything else.
Yeah. That's kind of I'm like watching it, waiting for the song to actually happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What others? Do you have any others come to mind?
I didn't grow up with the Jack Frost and whatever which one the whatever one that is. I can't even remember the name of the song. I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah,
but it's like
the other Rankin Bass.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that song is because sadly of Batman and Robin. Sing. I hate it when people talk during the movie.
Oh God.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm looking at you with disgust.
Yeah, I know, but that's actually the only reason I know that song to begin with. I didn't grow up with those.
Yeah, I mean,
I did grow up. I guess you can technically count this as a Christmas special as opposed to a Christmas movie. Is Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Oh, sure, sure.
Which I might be my definitive Christmas Carol.
Oh wow,
maybe. Well, we could have a whole episode on A Christmas Carol because
honestly, I could talk about versions of A Christmas Carol.
You know what? We're doing it. We're rearranging the schedule and we're going to talk about A Christmas Carol for a solid half hour. It's done. Don't think it's not happening.
Maybe we'll call it a bonus episode.
Bonus episode. It's done. It's happening. I'm going to stop talking about Mickey's
very
Christmas. I'm so serious.
This.
I love A Christmas Carol. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
If you like A Christmas Carol, aka Scrooge, at all, then I guess look out for a bonus episode.
Tune into the bonus episode that will be recorded immediately after this one. All right. Yeah. All right. So you said that you had one to rival.
Oh, yeah.
Rudolph. So what is it?
Charlie Brown.
Oh, right.
Come on.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
That is the pinnacle.
Charlie Brown hits my second. I like Rudolph more.
Okay, fair.
But I love
that's fair.
Charlie Brown Christmas Special.
I do think it's the best. It captures everything about the season. It's yeah. It's got the Vince Guaraldi. That was the introduction of the Peanuts theme, right? Linus and Lucy.
One for all and children call. I'm making up.
I was going to say
the word.
You threw some Three Musketeers even into the.
Yeah, I know. Thought you wouldn't notice. I actually, that one might be third for me, and I'll fill in. I know. I'll fill in my. I'll fill in my second.
Go ahead.
Let's keep talking about Peanuts. You're right. I think I like Great Pumpkin more, the Halloween special, than the Christmas special.
I don't like any Charlie Brown special as much as I like the Christmas one.
Interesting.
Especially not the Thanksgiving one. I really don't.
I don't care for that one. I watch it Actually, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it this year.
I
either.
didn't. It's
No,
like
I haven't watched
the first year in maybe 5 years or so that I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it in several years. I just really don't care for it that much. But
Interesting.
But the Christmas one is like a must watch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
yeah,
the best.
yeah. Are you just on a side note at all? Are you excited about the CG Peanuts movie that's coming out?
Yeah. I haven't. Honestly, I'm ashamed. I have not watched the trailer yet.
I did. It's good. It's all Snoopy centric.
Okay.
Which I think it's all Snoopy centric. Yeah, which surprised me because the teaser trailer wasn't, and so I was back and forth. But I'm excited. But anyway, continue to talk about Christmas specials. Or just movies in general, because we kind of got stuck in this special.
Yeah,
zone.
we're at this point. I feel like we should just stick to the TV and leave movies for.
We'll leave movies for another bonus episode.
Yeah,
maybe we could just do the bonus episode of movies.
Fair,
then talk about
and
Christmas Carol.
Do a spotlight on Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
on that one.
Because maybe I don't think anybody loves a Christmas Carol, maybe as much as we do. That is listening to this podcast.
No one wants to hear a solid half hour of a Christmas Carol.
Maybe not.
Probably
there are
not.
some people that probably do.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not listening to this podcast.
They should.
But if you are, email us at bewithgeeks@gmail.com. Great.
Smooth.
Plugs everywhere. All right.
That's what your hair is?
Oh, how did you know?
You just said plugs everywhere.
Everywhere. And I whip it off like Gene Hackman. Oh.
Whip it off. Whip it off.
I whip it off. All right. Anyway, we went with two different songs. Came together. It was a good mashup.
Beautiful.
So Peanuts is Peanuts your number one? Does it take the Rudolph place?
No, yeah, it definitely is.
Interesting.
Yeah, easily.
You don't want a squirt gun filled with jelly? Like or a truck with the Island of Misfit Toys. I need to talk about this for a second.
Yeah,
I need to go back to Rudolph.
Okay.
I want most of the toys on that island. Why wouldn't you want a gun that squirts jelly? That's kind of awesome. I mean, I would make my sandwiches like that every day.
Ooh.
Like, can you imagine, like, who needs a knife when I've got my squirt gun filled with jelly? Squish, 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 squish. Nailed it. Like, nailed it. Yeah. Got my sandwich done a lot faster than yours. Person who doesn't live with me because I live by myself. Nailed it. All right.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right. Cell 5. All right. Yeah. Okay. High five my cat. No, I say Rudolph is my number one. It might also be The Grinch.
Oh, The Grinch is very good.
The Grinch is great. I actually just watched a parody video today. I don't remember if I sent it to you or not. It's You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, but it's all Darth Vader. It's really funny. Whoever edited it, it's called You're a Mean One, Mr. Sith, I think.
Okay.
It's the beginning narration of The Grinch, but it's the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And so instead of the Who's, and he's like, and the Grinch thought, I must stop Christmas from coming. And it's Darth Vader in the Star Destroyer just like walking around. But then it goes into You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. But the beats of the edits of the movies match the song.
Nice.
That's what was really inspiring. And then the end, it's really good. We should watch it afterwards and maybe stick it in the notes on the website at beerwithgeeks.com.
That could happen.
One episode. It could happen. Was that for Angels in the Outfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good.
What a great movie.
I love that movie.
I coach volleyball, just for everyone's knowledge, and somebody was like, I need a message like across the I need a message across.
Did you do the arm
gym.
flappy thing?
And so I was like, I'll wave my arms like this, okay? And the kid was like, yes, do that. And I was like, that movie has transcended generations. Yes. Life is good.
Oh man.
I love that. I love that movie. We could talk about that at another time.
Yeah.
That's definitely Beer with Geeks territory right there.
Oh yeah.
90s
easily.
nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Angels in the Outfield. I love the Grinch. I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey's Grinch. I'm a Seuss cartoon purist, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I really like the Boris Karloff thing. Talked about this last episode.
You're a mean one,
Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Anyway, no, I love the Grinch, except that when he has a heart attack at the end, that's really sad. When his heart grows,
that's what happened. Yeah, he had a heart attack.
He has a heart attack. I didn't get that when I was a kid, but clearly,
yeah,
his heart grew way too big. I love that, but it's not just that song. I also really love the Who song.
Who are you?
Oh,
who,
and you're gonna make fun. Yeah,
that's the
you're
song.
You're gonna
right?
make fun of me for making weird references at the beginning of the show.
I don't know what you're talking
Mister,
about.
I don't know what an island is, so I can't
don't know what
name
those
it.
are.
Yeah. I love the Grinch. Love it. No, I love the Who song. I love the feeling that I get for watching it. That one was the other one I also had taped off of TV.
Yep.
Mine was on, I don't know about you, mine was taped off of TNT.
Oh, okay.
And so, but I remember it's like a half-hour special. So, of course, the commercial comes like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like, and then the Grinch, time for this commercial break. I just need to know. No, I'm a big fan. Do you have, when you watch these things, or at least just the specials or even the movies, do you have like I need to watch them in this order, or I need to watch them on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, or can you watch them like around Christmas?
For most of the TV specials, it's anytime around Christmas, and it's in no particular order. If I honestly wouldn't give the order much thought, but now that you've mentioned it, I'd probably watch Rudolph first, and then Frosty, and then Charlie Brown, and then the Grinch at some point.
Okay.
But I don't really care when I watch them. It's kind of spread out anytime between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Any time is fine. And in no particular order. Do you have like traditions around when you watch them in what order?
I like to, over the past couple of years, when I've gone back to my parents' house for Christmas, my brother usually works on Christmas, and so he doesn't normally join us. But my sister and I are, even though we're both adults, we're big into, we're putting on these movies.
Right.
Like it's not an option.
This is happening.
Non-option territory right
Sure.
now. And so Rudolph always comes on. Sometimes we put on the Snowman. Did you ever watch the Snowman?
Is that the you're talking about the animated one?
Yeah, he builds the snowman, and then the snowman takes him to the North Pole, and he meets Santa, and he comes back and the sun like melts the snowman in the morning. It's really a sad, walking in the air.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about this with Christmas music. I love that.
That's
song.
a great song. Yeah,
love that song.
Beautiful but sad. But
beautiful
really
but sad. Yeah,
yeah.
We're dancing in the moon.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's very good.
I remember watching that as a wee lad, a really small child, but I haven't watched it in many years.
As an adult, it's possibly more enjoyable just because you appreciate the animation just as much as the story.
Why do I feel like that story kind of reminds me of like The Giving Tree?
It's very much like The Giving Tree. That artist did another film that I can't remember the name for.
That's fine.
Like me, it's not a Christmas movie, but it's about a man who planted trees. I'm like, it's about a man who planted trees. Like, wait.
Got
the
it.
film was called The Man Who Planted Trees.
Nailed it.
Yes. Sell 5. All right. I think, not that we were sitting across from a table, you could high five me, but
I'm right here.
You won't. So sell 5.
I mean, you didn't ask.
I didn't. I went immediately for the sell 5.
You did.
The Man Who Planted Trees is like he's planting a tree one by one.
No.
Go on, he's planting a tree one by one.
It sounds like Johnny Appleseed.
It's not. It's a true story, actually. And he basically the man makes a forest by himself. Siri, you can't be a part of this conversation.
Really wants to be part of this.
Yeah. He basically plants a whole forest by himself after World War One. I think it is. It's a true story. I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy who animated it. Anyway, I don't have it in front of me because I thought I could talk about Christmas specials without having to look up information. Apparently, I went too far. I do recommend The Snowman. I do recommend The Man Who Planted Trees, even though it's not a Christmas movie.
Fair.
I lost my train of thought with The Snowman. I feel like there was another Christmas special in my mind that I forgot about.
In your mind, Grapes.
In my mind, Grapes. I am actually doing a rewatch of 30 Rock, just because
nice.
I was doing stuff around the house and I needed something that I knew well in the background for noise, and I heard Mind Grapes in season 1. I didn't know it went that far back. That was fun for me. And it comes from Jack, of all people, first. I thought it was a Tracy thing. It's a Jack thing. Not Christmas at all, although the Christmas episodes of 30 Rock are quite spectacular.
They're pretty fun.
Yep. All right. Wrap it up. Favorite moment of any of those Christmas specials?
Linus with the blankie doing the whole reading from scripture thing.
Oh yeah,
fun. I mean, it's a really nice moment. Yeah.
No.
Also, Lucy saying, "No, Jingle Bells." That whole thing. Dun 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 dun.
I do.
Dun 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 dun. That's it.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, and you know what? You know where you can find us at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. At Beer with Geeks on Twitter, Beer with Geeks on Facebook, beerwithgeeks.com. In the giving spirit of Christmas, we would love it if you left us a review as a little present. 4 or 5 stars would be a magnificent present. One we couldn't possibly repay you with, except with more episodes. Yay! Okay.
I'm nodding in agreement.
You are. Until next time with our Christmas special about A Christmas Carol and potentially other movies if we get to them. Merry Christmas and cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. All character names, sound effects, and quotes are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Thought Bubble Audio Studios unless otherwise indicated.
Heavy metal Christmas.